for my informative speech, I decided to do the career topic. So as my future career, I want to be a child counselor. So what is child counseling? As a counselor, you assess, diagnose, and treat children who deal with numerous issues like emotional or social disorders, such as behavioral issues that could be ADHD, anxiety, depression, and many other things. I chose this because as a child, I unfortunately went through a lot of things that caused me to have anxiety, and I never got the help that I needed, so I've always wanted to help other children who may have gone through similar situations or anything that has caused them emotional distress, and help them lead a better, healthier mental lifestyle. So, as a child counselor, you need to have at least a bachelor's degree in counseling, child psychology, or social work, and you can also get a graduate, master's, or doctoral degree. So you can see there's numerous ways that you can go about being a child counselor and leave it open. This is because as a child counselor, you are not stuck to just one thing. You can specialize in ADHD behavioral issues. You can specialize in anxiety and depression. You are not stuck to just one specific field of work. You can do multiple, or you can choose just one that you would like to do. But you also have different levels of education because of that. So if you get a graduate or master's and doctoral degree, now that's when you may be able to work and have your own practice where you have other counselors working under you. Or you could even work in a school, and that's where you may just need your bachelor's degree. So for a salary, on average, you're looking at about $72,540 as a counselor. But this can range anywhere from $39,010 to $108,670. Now, of course, as a school counselor, you're looking at the lower end of about $39,000, and owning your own practice is when you'd see the higher end of about $108,000. So, a couple facts and statistics on children who are in child counseling. So here in the U.S., child counseling goes from about ages 3 to 17 because under 3 years old, children are typically not able to communicate the way that it needs to properly counsel somebody. They're not mentally developed enough. So about 9.4% of children aged 2 to 17 have received an ADHD diagnosis. 7.4% of children aged 3 to 17 years have diagnosed behavioral problems. 7.1% of children aged 3 to 17 have diagnosed anxiety, and 3.2% of children aged 3 to 17 have diagnosed depression. Now, all of these things correlate with each other. Many times, if a child has one problem, they can have another one. So if they have behavioral issues such as ADHD, this can cause social anxiety because the child will realize they may stick out and it causes a lot of problems. A lot of times, depression goes hand in hand with anxiety and so on and so forth. They collide and they all kind of play a part within each other, which is why child counseling is so important because this helps teach children coping skills. Now, another reason I chose this is because this career, unfortunately, is always going to be necessary. We cannot stop neglect and child abuse. I wish we could, but it's very unlikely that it will ever stop. There's also the problem that many things like bipolar disorder are passed on through genetics, and this also is something that we cannot stop. While it may be treatable, we can't stop it. So there's always going to be that need for children to be counseled. Now, I believe that counseling is very, very important, and to start that as a child because children are the future of this world. And if you are not taught how to properly control your emotions and cope with things, you will have a lot harder time as an adult processing things and dealing with things. Now, if you're taught as a child coping skills such as meditation or even just playing a certain sport that you like and learning things to do that help you when you are feeling anxious or many other things, as an adult, you will be able to recognize when you may start to have things like a panic attack, and you'll know how to stop that because you were taught already at such a young age. So this research for this paper has really helped me open my eyes to what the field of child counseling is really like. Like I said above, counselors can specify which type of patients they work with and where. They're not tied down to one particular part or group of people. The career is always going to be important, and there's always going to be a demand for it. Now, mental and physical health go hand in hand. It is impossible to be at your best with emotional health if you do not have your best physical health, and vice versa. So, counselors ensure that there is a way to have a healthy emotional and mental lifestyle. And after this speech, I'm even more excited about my career choice, and I hope that I gave you guys some important information that helped you better understand what child counselors do.